up on the mic, they gon' play it on repeat. Cash 100 milli check, I get paid just to breathe. Kill it 24/7, cause I slay in my sleep. Flames pipe down when I enter in the convo.
Remember now, we're not here to judge anybody. We want to handle this with love, right? You want to tell him how his drug abuse has hurt you, maybe hurt himself. Okay, Harold, what time did you tell him to be here?
5 o'clock, but he's always late.
No, he'll be here. In 3, 2, 1.
Is this a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway?
Hey, there you go. Hey, folks. If you can hear me, that's my new screen. Yep, I'm no longer a human being. I am an OBS window, or whatever the hell that is. Anyways, folks, I apologize for that. That was not my mom. I have no idea what's going on.
Are you getting a delayed signal on your end?
Honestly, what's that? I'm not sure what's going on, June.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You were getting cut off for a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Folks, I have no idea what's going on. I guess I've been having some trouble with my Comcast Wi-Fi lately. So like, you know what? Not too happy with them. I guess they decided to like play games with me or bust my balls on or something like that and whatnot. Here I am. I was just bragging to June earlier before the show. His first show on the Bleeding Edge about how I never have problems on my and everything with my audio, my video, and everything. So of course, from jump, we're like having problems and the video's not working. Whatever, you know, it is what it is. Either way, folks, I'm not even going to bother introducing myself first and thank June. Do you actually like to go by June?
Yeah, June is
June,
fine.
can you hear me?
Yep. June is
fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So June.
Yes.
I'll yourself. And YouTube channel and podcast.
Jeff, can you hear me?
We are here tonight to be
I'm not sure Jeff can hear us because I can't hear Jeff.
Jeff, I think he froze. Jeff, can you hear us? Sorry, I'm late, as usual.
Well, a wizard's never late. He arrives precisely when he intends to, I suppose.
Exactly.
I'm glad you got that.
Oh yeah, Gandalf, of course. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Jeff, what's up? I don't know what happened to Jeff.
Yeah. This was happening earlier also. I'm not sure if it's the same issue or something else.
We had problems yesterday. We were supposed to do a show and it just didn't happen because the connection was gone. Well, now we're alone. Are we taking over the show?
Are we hosting tonight? Okay, cool.
Sorry about that, folks. I apologize. Technical difficulties. What's up, Drug Wizard? So, anyways, basically,
I'm by myself. Guys,
just went ahead and
difficult.
Oh, Drunk Wizard, perfect. You're coming in from jump, just like freeze all over the place, everything. This is crazy, I'm telling you. Well, I tried to change up my Wi-Fi really quick and unplug my Ethernet.
Are we live?
I'm not sure. I was going to ask you. Are we in the same predicament again?
Well, we had problems yesterday. We weren't even able to record. We're going to do some reaction videos, and I think it was the Wi-Fi. And yeah, I felt bad about being late, but then I didn't know there was technical difficulties. Oh man.
Well, this was definitely an interesting first podcast experience. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've been on a few podcasts before, and yeah, sometimes there's technical difficulties, man. It's just, with my own live stream, I do it by myself, and it always kicks me off. But it's good that I don't have anyone else on there. So, like, if I get kicked off, it's like, oh well, it's like, I hate that I get kicked off, but sometimes it just happens. I don't know.
I'm really tempted to ask you about the origins of the Drunken Wizard, but I'm afraid as soon as you start telling me, Jeff is going to pop back in, and we're going to have to go through that all over again.
He'll pop back in probably in the middle of what I'm saying because he knows I'm talking. No, just kidding. The Drunk Wizard started. This is a long story. Well, I used to stream on Live Me, and there was this online game. There was a gaming competition called Arena of Valor, and the character I liked was called Ignis, and he looked like Gandalf, and he was a wizard. And I love drinking beer, and I love video games, so I said I'm Drunk Wizard. So you always use that as my gamer ID on every game. And and he's back.
And he's back, but you know what? That was awesome. Yeah.
It's good. We should just keep it going while he leaves. We just come up with topics. Oh, there he is. Yes, he's back. Finally. That's awesome.
Could you? Yeah, were you guys here?
We hear you. Jeff, try going just audio. Maybe that'll work. Like if you just do audio, maybe it'll let you in like that. Or maybe if I just go audio, so it takes up less bandwidth. I don't know. We got to find a way to make it work.
It was happening before you came on as well, Drunken Wizard. So I don't know if it's on our end.
It has to do with me coming in. Yeah. Yeah. And last night we're supposed to record, but Jeff's like, dude, the Wi-Fi's totally down. He couldn't even get on. We just talked on the phone because we should have just recorded our phone conversation and uploaded that as a podcast.
Yeah.
So our phone conversations are like podcasts. It's pretty funny. Sometimes you'll talk to a friend for like 2 hours. Like, what's your name, man? I can't see very well and I have glasses on.
But, it's June.
What's your name?
June, like the month.
Oh, June. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can't see anything without my glasses, and these are prescription, so it's like I'm just like looking at you guys, but I can't see the names or anything under the screens. I just see the bandmate because that's huge. I see that, yeah. Jeff, try going audio only if you can hear me. Or let me text him. Because sometimes that works, like when it starts going crazy. If you just go audio only, it works.
I think it's StreamYard.
Hey, try going audio only. Oh, there you are. It could be StreamYard. I think he said it was StreamYard. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I'm going to text him, though, real quick. See if we can get this. Try going audio only. Go audio. Only.
June.
Yes. Jeff, I heard you call my name, but that's about it.
What if we all go audio? Will that work? No, there he is. There he is. He's live now.
Oh.
You're live, Jeff. Do we have like a fourth guest down there? Oh no, that's just the bandmate letters. That's it was another square. My vision's so bad. I definitely need to get prescription sunglasses so I can be on the shows with.
I just always have this very anime glare in my glasses whenever I'm trying to web chat with anybody.
Yeah. It's amazing. I could see to text without my glasses, but I got to put it right up to my nose. I'm like, use audio only. People are always like, why do you got to put the phone up to read the chat? I was like, yeah, because I don't want to wear my glasses live. I'd wear them though. If I get prescription sunglasses, I'm fine. Then I could see everything and it looks cool. You know, I'm just shy about wearing glasses. I guess because I got teased about it when I was young. When I was a kid, I got bullied about it. So you always feel like it's going to happen again. But now everybody wears glasses though. It's like cool now to have glasses, like streamers and you know, content creators that wear glasses with glasses. But back in the 80s, since I was the only kid with glasses, I was known as the kid with the glasses. And so it was rough. But in today's time, it's like having glasses is in. It's awesome. You're like more trendy like that. You got glasses. You're smarter, more cool. Jeff, are you back?
Oh,
bro?
there we are.
Oh, maybe you're coming in audio. Yeah, audio. Hopefully, I hope this works. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm going.
There you are.
Yeah, I'm here. I think.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Maybe it was your mic.
Can you hear me?
Now we're here. We can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, great. Awesome. Hey, maybe we could actually freaking do a show now.
Nice.
Hey, what are you gonna? I have no idea what's going on, folks. I apologize out there in the stream, world land here, or the live streaming land here on YouTube and Twitch and everything, and Facebook Live. I have no clue. All I know is I tried both my laptops, and for some reason, StreamYard is not working on my laptops. I have no idea. I tried switching off from my Ethernet directly to my modem over to regular Wi-Fi. That didn't work. So, StreamYard sent me a message saying that StreamYard is the problem. So I guess I'm gonna have to talk to StreamYard after the end of the show. In the meantime, I'm cell phoning it out here. I'm going old school, baby. Straight cell phone and shit. But I'm here still. Oh, there you go. Anyways, June. Drunk Wizard. And we get San Diego Comic-Con Marvel Studios panel. Please, June, go ahead and introduce yourself. Of course, June does not host his own podcast, anything like that, not at least yet. But a massive MCU fan. And go ahead and introduce yourself, June. If you want to shout at anybody or whatever, whatnot, go ahead.
Well, hi, everyone. I'm June. Big thank you to Jeff for having me on. And this is something that I've always kind of dreamed about doing, and I never really got a chance to. So when I got a chance to be on it, I jumped on it because I really like comic books. I love comic book movies. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. Shout out to my girlfriend who's watching this right now. Love you. And that's pretty much about it. So yeah, just thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to talk some comic book stuff, man. I'm really excited for what the MCU is coming out with. I think it's going in a really cool direction, and I'm excited.
Well, I want to apologize for this unprofessional like situation and whatnot and everything. I mean, I'm making you and her look bad right now, June.
No, she's fine.
Bro, don't worry about it. I'm the worst one. I show up with beer and a hat. I mean, I'm the most unprofessional one here, but hey, I'm sorry. But I am Drunk Wizard.
You are a Drunk Wizard. You gotta hold up your brand.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know, you can't expect a Drunk Wizard to be that professional. But I try. I'm trying. I'm learning from Jeff. He's teaching me the ropes. So I thank him for that.
Drunk Wizard, are you preferring to use Google Chrome when you go through StreamYard?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. You may honestly need to go straight audio. Possibly. I think that your video is lagging.
Should I go audio?
Yeah, I think so because it's affecting your.
Better. Is that better?
Yeah, actually, you
that might
better.
Be better. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. All right, let's
yeah,
like
no,
that.
your audio. No, your audio is a little bit off, man. That's all. Anyway, so well, welcome, guys. I appreciate you being on here. Thank you for being patient with me. I apologize for the crude sort of having this small little video panel to work with and whatnot, like for me to be in and whatnot. Here I am. I've got all this technology, all this money. I've invested all this money in all these nice webcams and shit and everything and whatnot. Can't even use them. So there. Hey, you know what? It's all good. But you know what? Hey, there's one positive, right? At least I can walk around outside now while I do the show. So that's always positive. So let's actually get into. There you go. So Drunk Wizard, really quick before we actually get into the meat of this bitch. Drunk Wizard, you again, you are I believe you are a Facebook. Are you a Facebook live streamer or a game streamer?
Yeah, Facebook Live game streamer. I am. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And are you just a drunk or a drunk wizard?
Drunk Wizard. Because
okay.
I play video games and I do magic, and yeah, it's all combined. It's all part of the show. Oh yeah.
How does
Drunk
being
Wizard
drunk?
Gaming is the channel on Facebook.
Does being drunk make you more effective as a wizard?
Yeah, the magic becomes more potent. Once you have a few potions, it just makes the
Do your
magic
spell
more potent.
scale with beer, Drunken Wizard?
Yep.
I like beer, but a little bit of hard liquor, a little bit of absinthe, never hurt. A little bit of whiskey. Yeah, it's pretty good.
So then essentially, if Doctor Strange had just like gotten wasted during the Multiverse of Madness, he probably would have been better off. Like,
oh, if Doctor Strange got faded during doing his magic, especially during that Spider-Man movie where they had all the Spider-Mans, one of the last ones. I forget. I saw it this last couple months ago, but yeah, that would have been awesome. His spells would have been epic. Yeah.
Well, I love it. All I can tell you is,
the Spider-Man with the Spider-Man where there was 3 Spider-Mans and it had Tobey Maguire and all the old school ones and the new one and Doctor Strange. You know what movie I'm talking about?
Oh, No Way Home.
I don't know as much about stuff. But yeah, there it is. See, June got the knowledge. He got the true knowledge.
Listen, Drunk Wizard, honestly, dude, I think 3-year-old MCU fans know what that movie was called.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like a 3-year-old with my baby bottle. Yeah.
Oh. Anyways. So,
I'm Baby Wizard tonight. It's Baby Wizard.
San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios channel. We talked a lot about it on the Bleeding Edge recently. There's a lot to talk about, of course. They have had a lot. And I'll be honest with you, I have not watched the whole thing yet. I don't know. I didn't see the whole presentation and everything and whatnot and all that. All I've done is read articles and watch some YouTube videos and whatnot and everything. I wanted to go back and actually watch the panel. We've got D23 coming out soon too. So who knows what's going to come out with that. but I'm gonna go on and ask right now. Now with you, Drunk Wizard, I know that you are a MCU fan, but you're not like a super knowledgeable one, which is okay. I'm still gonna ask you though.
Yeah.
With June 1st.
Okay.
June, what would you say that you're excited for the most? Out of what came out of everything that came out of the panel, what are you stoked about the most?
Well, honestly, for me, it would be four things. Seeing Namor in the Wakanda Forever trailer was awesome because
love that. That just shows you how big of a fan you are. I asked you for 1, you're giving me 7.
Yeah, no, I was super excited about it because I've heard rumors for years that, eventually they were going to do Namor, but, it was one of those things where, a few years back, you never thought we would see half the characters we've seen now. So to actually see him, and I really like where they went with his character design. They've gone for a little bit more of a Mayan Aztec kind of aesthetic rather than the traditional aesthetic. Kind of took me off guard the first time I saw it, but I think it's going to be really cool. It's Fantastic Four, of course. It's been like forever since we got a good Fantastic Four movie. But Secret Wars really is my biggest kind of like, whoa, what are we going to see with Secret Wars? What's going to happen? Who's going to show up? I really thought after Endgame I wouldn't really have that level of hype for a movie, but when I saw that reveal, that was kind of the light bulb moment of, oh yeah, that's what's coming. I'm really excited about that.
Well, you know what? And later on, I've got a couple questions about that I'm going to pose to you. Now, Drunk Wizard, I know that you maybe don't know everything about what came out from the panel.
I've been reaching. I'm very excited about some different stuff. I'm very excited about Blade coming out.
Hey, there you go.
Blade is like one of my favorite superheroes from 1999. He murders the vampires. Wesley Snipes, I always wanted to be like him when I grew up, but I didn't get to be that. But he's the man. Either way, I'm excited about Blade. Blade is like one of my favorite characters ever. One of my favorite superheroes. I mean, I put him above Batman and Superman because he just kills people with swords and guns, and he's invincible, like almost invincible. But like, I love Blade, and I'm excited about that. And so that's the one I'm most excited about. And also Captain America, the New World Order, just because it sounds like it's going to have some conspiracy theory type of shit in there. And I love conspiracy theories, so I'm excited to see what they're going to do with that movie. It's going to be interesting. But Blade is like yeah. I think November 2023.
Wizard, with you third and all the time and be a nice guy, you actually probably could pull off blackface and Blade.
I wish, man. I mean, I love Blade and I love Wesley Snipes. One of my favorite actors of all time. That dude is like style. He's embodies confidence, power in roles. Like he's with, Demolition Man, White Man Can't Jump, all those movies from back in the day. Also, yeah, he's awesome. But when he became Blade, that was like the coolest thing in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about the Blade.
He was awesome. Yeah, and honestly, I think forget, like, basically, without Blade, you don't get an MCU, right? Like, I mean, they, of course, with the Spider-Man films and the X-Men films and the Fantastic Four films and everything, but Blade started it. It did. And
damn right.
I mean,
and he's violent and he's rated R. People try to say, "Oh, Deadpool was the first rated R super." No, it wasn't. It was Blade. You gotta recognize. Blade was the first rated R, I think, superhero that was like hardcore, just killing where it's beautiful. And I just can't wait to see what happens with Blade because that's gonna be hardcore. And yeah, I'm super excited because that brings back my teenage years watching Wesley Snipes kick ass, and I still watch his newer movies too. So Wesley Snipes is the man, and Blade. Yeah, Jeff, are you with us still? I hope he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
Don't leave when we're getting. Oh, okay.
Dude.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. I was looking. Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, do you know Shero 63?
I believe I do. Yeah.
Okay. You want to answer this one?
Sure. Hey, Shark. I don't think Kang is the strongest. I think when we try to size him up against beings like Galactus or some of the more kind of cosmic level antagonists in Marvel in general, I think Kang is one of the strongest villains. I think just the level of technology, the level of knowledge and intelligence that he brings, I think he is a potentially really good villain. I don't think, however, he's on a similar scale to some of the more stronger villains that are out there. Maybe in the MCU, if we're really just talking about the MCU, Kang might be the strongest up until now naturally, but I think that remains to be seen, especially because we have so many movies coming out between now and then.
Yes, plus you got to take into consideration, for those of you who maybe don't know that much about Kang, that you don't know every Kang is different, right? Like, some Kangs have different powers. They're stronger. They have different abilities. Some of them have different goals. Some of them are even good. They're not even evil. You never know. I mean, those that watched the Loki series and saw the version of Kang in the finale, He Remains, right, was a Kang variant that was not really a villain. He wasn't evil, right? He actually was kind of a good guy, if anything. He wanted to maintain order and everything, whatnot, with the timeline. And then, of course, Sylvie killed him. So, smart move, Sylvie. But, hey, wow. I still like Sylvie, and honestly, not that I want to go back in the, back that far or whatever, but, I definitely, just so you know, June and Wizard, I give like a Monica Rambeau award to every Disney Plus series, right? Because I mean, when I first saw WandaVision, Monica Rambeau stole the show. She was the standout secondary character of the series. And like literally like had an impact every time she was on screen. And at that point, every series now I give out a Monica Rambeau award for like the top secondary character in the series. And without question, in the Loki series, Sylvie was literally just as impactful and like and as solid a character as Loki was. She was that good. Sophia DiMartino. But either way, I gotta say right now that as I talked to you before the show earlier, Wizard, I'm totally all about Captain America 4. I loved him with Captain America. I do. I love it. I know there are people out there that at the end of Endgame were not happy about Cap giving him the shield, which I don't necessarily understand, to tell you the truth. But of course there are Bucky fans out there, and whatnot and all that. But to me, it just made sense. And for me, I feel like, and you guys are happy to jump in on this if you want. You can give your thoughts if you want. Wizard, then I'll go to you, June. I absolutely love the fact that Captain America is
I just have a question. I don't know much about. I had a crazy question. I don't know much about Kang and all that. But since I don't know much about it, let's ask a crazy question. Who would win in a fight, Kang versus Apocalypse? I mean, you guys have more knowledge, and I think you guys could really answer this better than I could. So I want to know who would win in a fight.
That's very hard to say, man, because again,
are we talking about the version of Apocalypse from the X-Men Apocalypse movie, or are we talking about Apocalypse from like the Apocalypse from the comics? From the comics?
Are you talking about the crackhead version of Apocalypse?
Well, I need to know. We can't answer the question. We got to know.
The best version of Apocalypse versus Kang. Who would win? Yeah, like Apocalypse at his best.
I would want to put my money on Apocalypse, but I feel like Kang would win.
Dude, nah, I'm all in with Apocalypse on that one. Apocalypse is a powerful villain.
I would really want Apocalypse to win. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, I really, really, really hope, and I want to believe that Marvel Studios is going to give us a legit Apocalypse in the MCU at some point. I believe it. I do.
I'd love to see it. I think they could redo it now. They don't even have to wait that long.
And isn't it crazy with Doctor Strange in the multi-universe? It can happen. Like, who knows what's going to happen? That's the beauty about it.
The Wizard, listen. I'll go to June. What do you think about the fact that Captain America maybe is the only character in the MCU where you could actually pass the man from Steve Rogers to Sam Wilson, right? And of course that is comic book accurate, right? It is. But he's the only character really that I can think of besides maybe Black Widow, right? With Yelena Belova, where even then, I don't know if she's ever going to really be Black Widow, you know. With Captain America, that title can be on. You can't have another person be Captain America. What do you think about that, Wizard?
What I think is that I love Captain America. I remember watching the cartoon and the video game. I'm not that knowledgeable about his movies. But like I said, I'm excited about the new title, the New World Order, like what that's going to be about, like where they're going to go with that. Is it going to be conspiracy theory stuff? Is it going to be, tying into some crazy stuff? I don't know. That's all I can really say about Captain America. I mean, I'll give it to June. I'll give the mic to June right now.
Sure, yeah. And just to go off your point about the New World Order being a little bit more about conspiracy theories, I really hope that's the case as well, because that was the main reason that for the longest time, Winter Soldier was my favorite MCU movie. Because sure, it was a comic book Captain America movie, but it was so much more of a spy thriller. And it's always really nice to see a certain flavor of movie made using the superheroes. That's one of the reasons I loved Logan. It was like everyone said, it was a Western that was a superhero movie. So I think that was really cool. So I really do hope that's what it is. And to go back to Sam Wilson as Cap, I think he's a great choice. Some people have said that maybe they should have gone with Bucky, but I don't think Bucky would have been a good choice for that. I think Sam embodies the values and the symbolism behind Cap. And while sure, Bucky can be just another super soldier, it's the whole theme of Captain America's first movie was it's not the super soldier serum. It's who you are as a man, as a person. And I think Sam really just embodies those principles well. So I'm happy with that. That's
a really good point, June. It really is that you made that connection, because I think it's very interesting. It's something that doesn't be brought up very often when people have that debate with Sam Wilson as Captain America in terms of how's he going to be able to be effective without the serum, right? Like, how's it going to work, right? Nobody ever mentions that is the whole concept of Steve Rogers' Captain America. You don't need the serum, right? It's your heart. It's who you are. It's your character. It's your value. It's that that ethos, that team ethos, that crossover. Would you cross over the wire for your friend type deal, right? From the Avengers, right? That classic line. And I think that what I really love about it is that Marvel didn't just let Steve Rogers give the shield to Sam Wilson because he's black, right? It wasn't just some PC bullshit. He deserved it. You know what I'm saying? He was the for the job. So I love that. In an era right now in our society, in our culture, where it's very safe, right, and popular to not care about quality or about what makes sense, right? Necessarily. It's more about trying to, not get canceled, right? Or score, PC points or whatever. Marvel actually did it in a way where, the African American guy deserved America. He earned it, right? And as far as I'm concerned, when Steve Rogers respects you that way, that's important. That's valuable. And honestly, now I'm just gonna put this to you, June, and Wiz, I've got something for you too, but you didn't watch Talking of the Winter Soldier. What did you think, June? How did you feel? I'm not gonna ask you what you thought of the finale, but what did you think about seeing Sam come out with his new outfit as Captain America and whatnot?
Oh, that outfit looks so good. I was such a fan of that outfit because I'd seen artwork from comics of that outfit, and initially a lot of issues I had with a lot of comic book movies was that they would stray away from comic accurate outfits, especially pre-MCU. So to kind of see him take on that mantle and put on that outfit, that suit, I think it was just icing on the cake for him as a character.
Most definitely. And now, Wiz, did you see Captain America: The Winter Soldier?
Who, Wizard?
Yeah, Wiz.
I didn't see the new trailer, so I didn't see the new costume, but I did see the Kang Dynasty and the Secret Wars ones. So I did watch those right before I came out. So those were awesome. I don't know if there's gonna be
Wizard, did you see Captain America: The Winter Soldier?
I watched that, yeah. I don't remember it much, but I did see it.
There you go. Okay, that's all I wanted to ask. What'd you think of it? Well, you know what? Wizard, you too drunk?
No, I can hear you just breaking up a little bit on the mic. I'm not hearing everything you're saying, but
this is good, dude.
ask me again. I'm not...
When Wiz just ad libs, it's really good.
It's really good. I mean, yeah.
Wiz, can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. Tell me.
Okay. What did you think of Captain America: The Winter Soldier?
Soldier? It was good, Like I said, I told you a little bit earlier, it didn't remind me of the comic book or the cartoon or the video games, but it was different. But you explained to me why that was like the way it was, and I understood. And so, yeah, that's why I really got to sit down and watch all the movies and really get into it. I'm getting into it, but you're going to get me into watching everything. That's why I love this show. That's why I love what you do. And I'm a big fan of X-Men, and Spider-Man and Iron Man. It just gets complicated when they all intertwine all the stories and the multiverse. I love Doctor Strange, though. As a fellow wizard, he's one of the best characters I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, like he's cool. I still gotta watch the new movie. I hope it's
right now, Wizard, you're gonna have to cut back on the being drunk thing a little bit if you really want to watch all the MCU movies, just because you might miss out on some things.
Yeah, I think I gotta be in my right mind when I watch everything and understand it all. I've missed stuff. I watched the first Iron Man's, the first Avenger movies, but I missed a lot of stuff in between. Same thing with X-Men and Spider-Man. So I watched all the stuff in the beginning and then I kind of fell off. But when I get back into it, I'm excited about all the new stuff. Though Blade, though, I'm like still excited about that.
Blade's gonna be really good, yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
I know.
And of course,
I did see all the Blade movies though. Those are badass. I mean, I can't get enough Blade. Blade is the best.
Well,
even Trinity Wizard.
What's going on, Jeff?
No, I said, what do you think Trinity was also really good? Blade Trinity?
Right. Oh yeah. All of the films, on that had to do with Blade were just awesome, and I just really need to go back and watch everything. And I know I slack as a fan. I even slack with the other movies, and it's just because my friends don't want to go to the theater with me. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start going by myself. Screw them if they don't have fun. That's them. Like I'm gonna watch everything from now on. That's what I do now. If they want to go, I go watch everything now. So that's how it's gonna be from now on. But I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up on all this stuff.
Wizard, you must have been freaking hammered when you saw Blade Trinity, man. I gotta tell you.
Bro, I was hammered. Bro, when I saw the first Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, we were all hammered. We went to a bar before, and then I snuck in some alcohol into the theater. And then we got really hammered. And when Spider-Man was swinging with his webs, we were screaming. And we thought we were flying through the sky. That's how hammered we were. But yes, definitely hammered. When I watched Blade, same thing. Well, actually, Blade, I was a little too young. I was like 17 when I watched Blade.
I think it's possible.
I like that.
I think it's possible that you skipped the alcohol for Blade Trinity. Maybe you actually dropped acid that night.
Oh yeah, I think
It's possible.
it's all part of the plan.
There you go, brother. According to Wizard, June, the Fox Fantastic Four films were like Oscar worthy.
Are we talking about the original ones with Jessica Alba?
Yeah.
Okay, they weren't all bad. I don't think they were all bad. I mean,
Oh, come on, I'm just joking, man.
Oscar worthy, I don't know though.
Of course, they weren't all bad. I mean, look, Wizard loves my co-host
You know what's
Cyber.
gonna be Oscar worthy? We gotta get Cyber on the line. Call him now. Shouts out to Cyber.
Well, Cybernetic Shark loves the original Fantastic Four films and will like defend them all day. If you even try to say anything bad about them, he will not even hear it. So it's a good thing he's not here. He would not like me making fun of it at all. But again, right? It's all a process. Like without those films, wherever you think of them, I don't believe you get an MCU. You don't. I think Kevin Feige, since he was a part of all of it, he was. I think he was just a consultant at that point, but he was a part of it. I think he learned a lot from all those films he did. And I think that was part of what the process that led him to putting together the MCU the way he did. So again, I make fun of this stuff sometimes, but at the same time, I grasp the value overall of all those films. The X-Men films with Fox, those Fantastic Four films. At that point, during that time period, they were new and different, and they were the first superhero films that we really got. But so in terms of the San Diego Comic-Con and Marvel Studios panel, in terms of essentially, now June already mentioned his fondness for Secret Wars, right? So what I want to ask you guys is, what do you think it is? I'll start with you, June. Knowing Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios. Well, actually, you know what? June, do you want to take this comment right here with the young version of Kang, Young Avengers?
Yeah, sure, I can try. I'm not sure if I know much about a lot of that stuff, but I do know there's some kind of connection between Kang and I think it was Iron Lad, who's part of the Young Avengers. So I might be wrong, but I think they are the same person essentially. But
they are
just from different timelines and different variants. And that's the cool thing about Kang, like you mentioned earlier about the version of Kang that appeared on the Loki show. That is going to be completely different from the Kang we see in Kang Dynasty, who's going to be completely different from, potentially us seeing Iron Lad if they kind of try to like bring that story in. So I think that's what the connection is, that it's the same individual person, but just popping up at different points in time. Like there's a version of him that exists back in the days of ancient Egypt, but then there's a version of that's from super far in the future or something along those lines.
See, now, Wizard, this is actually something I think is very interesting too, not knowing that Kang, and to also answer Sharok's question, as far as the young version of Kang and the Young Avengers, how did it happen? Does that mean Kang started the Young Avengers in that case? Why did he do that? Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm not an expert on the Young Avengers. I'm not. But I will tell you that I do believe that the variant of Kang that became Iron Lad, he may not have put the team together, but he led, right? He was Captain America's team. And essentially, that was a variant of Kang that was a good Kang. He wasn't happy with what the other Kangs were doing, right? And so at that point, he became Iron Lad in order to essentially be a good guy. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you is that with Kang, right, he's not like Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's not like Apocalypse.
Okay.
He's not one person.
He's not pure evil.
No, he's multiple people. there's multiple variants of Kang. There's different versions of him throughout the multiverse and throughout history, right? So at that point, what's very interesting about Kang is we don't even know how many different Kangs there's going to be. We have no idea.
Wow.
You know, we know that Kang is going to be an Quantumania's main villain, but we don't know what Kang is going to be. And so I wanted to
different variants.
yes, that's what's cool about Kang is that Kang is not just one person, you know. And so what I think is interesting is basically, and what I wanted to ask you was, sorry we do Wiz, and you don't need to be a massive Marvel comic book fan to answer this, or a massive MCU fan. Wiz, why do you think that Marvel Studios felt that it was necessary to go ahead and let the fans know at this Comic-Con this early when these Avengers films were going to come out?
The Secret Wars or the Kang Dynasty? You're talking about Kang Dynasty?
Both of them. Why do you think they felt like they had to do that?
A couple points that you guys brought out, because I'm listening to what you guys are saying. One point that June brought out is about, and you brought out is about, Loki, the show kind of ties into all the stuff. And so that show is very popular, right? So like people are watching that, they're loving it. And then if this movie ties into that, they're gonna be salivating. They're gonna be like, man, I want to know what's going on with this stuff with Kang, what he's gonna be, what it's gonna turn into. Is he gonna be good? Is he gonna be evil? Is he gonna be a different variant of good or evil? Can he kick Apocalypse ass? That's the thing people are thinking about in the back of their mind, but that's just my crazy drunken mind. But then I had another crazy question for you guys, because I got to come up with crazy questions, and it is, what do you think would happen? Kang versus Thanos, I guess in Kang's present form, whatever it is now. Like, who would win in a fight? That's the end of my comment there.
Which Thanos? Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones, or just Thanos?
Yeah, it is ultimate. At their ultimate peak. It is ultimate power. If they have, who would win? Yeah, it's always ultimate power ups.
Okay,
stones,
okay.
All the magic.
Thanos with the Gauntlet and the Stones. That's not even the question. He would destroy Kang.
Okay.
There's really.
Like
you tell me, nobody can really fuck with Thanos when he has the Gauntlet and Infinity Stones at that point. You really can't fuck with him.
I think for an actual kind of showdown, we would need to take the Gauntlet out of the equation, because with the Gauntlet, there's really no contest. No. Base level Thanos, base level Kang. I might go with Kang, but yeah, that's a pretty even matchup, I'd say. Without the Gauntlet, I think it's a pretty even matchup, more so than the last question.
And also you have to understand with base Thanos without the Gauntlet, he's a brawler, okay? Like he's a street fighter. Like he's not afraid to go hand to hand with people and whatnot and everything. He uses weapons. Kang's more of a uses lasers. He's got like armor. You know what I mean? Like he uses technology. He doesn't like throw fists.
Predator. Right, it's more like the
kind
Predator,
of,
right? Lasers.
Kind of, but whereas the Predator can still kind of go hand to hand, Kang is much more reliant on his technology. He's not a physical powerhouse, really.
I like this Kang guy already. I'm excited about the Kang Dynasty. See, you guys are the ones exciting me about the new movies. That's why I love the MCU Bleeding Edge, because now I want to be in the theater for all this stuff with my popcorn and my 40 ounce. We're going to be in there. Mm-hmm.
I know it, Wiz.
To the theater, I don't care.
Wiz, I'm sorry, brother.
We're gonna be in there.
Wiz, you're such a nice guy. I would even believe you have the balls to sneak a 40 into a theater.
I've done it. I still do it. Hey, they serve beer there, but it's too expensive. So I'm like, man, I'm sneaking in my stuff. So that's how we do it.
Do you cry and like beg them to like let them bring you in?
Oh, if the security catches me, they caught me once, but they didn't really search me for alcohol. They were looking. They thought I was like sneaking into the theater. So like, let me see your ticket. The guy was like, okay, here. And then I was like, "That. Oh yeah, you good?" I'm like, "Cool. All right, I'm gonna open my 40 now." And yeah, that's how we do. Hey, man, I will sneak in the 40.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Whiskey too.
Dude, I'm actually gonna switch identities with Drunk Wizard one of these days, and I'm gonna be Drunk Wizard for a night, and I'm gonna let him be True Knowledge. And we're gonna see how that goes down.
True Knowledge, I want you to be Drunk Wizard one night. That would be epic. I gotta get you the hat. I'll get you the hat, and yeah, that's happening.
Yeah, bro. I'll tell you right now, man. You're not gonna want your hat or anything any of your clothing once I wear it and everything and whatnot. When I'm done, when I wear it and whatnot, you're gonna want that shit back, bro. You're not gonna want it.
No, but it's gonna be a special hat just for you. I'll send you the hat, and you'll just have the hat. Yeah, it'll be all good.
I'll tell you right now. I like you so much, Drunk Wizard. If I did decide to switch identities with you, I would completely probably try to lower my game on purpose, just to be a lesser Drunk Wizard than you are.
That's pretty funny. You're gonna level down instead of level up. I like it.
That's right. That's how much respect I have.
Than me, you'll always... Much love, bro. Hey, that's respect. Man. Cheers to that.
Well, I don't know if I can drink as much beer as you, Wiz. I'll be honest. I won't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think those days are over for me, to tell you the truth. But no. What do you think, June? Oh wait, Drunk Wizard. Answer Sharuk 63's question here.
Yeah.
What kind of beer are you drinking?
Well, at first I was drinking a Big Little Thing IPA, Sierra Nevada. It's IPA, and then right now I'm drinking Foster's. I don't know if you guys can see it. Foster's Green Can, Tall Can. Yeah, that's what I've been drinking.
Okay. As far as the rest of the question goes, I don't think Kang drink beer. I don't. No.
I don't think he would either.
No.
The first
Kang's
beer
not.
10% is pretty good.
No, Kang is way too serious to be drinking beer. Not worried about beer. But thank you very much, Shiro. June is awesome. Drunk Wizard is the man. I'm just here to hang out with him. So, like,
thank you.
They get all the credit. I mean, hey, they're the ones that look more professional than I do. I'm over here with my cell phone and shit.
Bro, I'm not professional. I'm sorry I was late and I showed up drunk, but
yeah, I just got really lucky that when I took my hat off, my hair just kind of swooped to the right. So, usually it's kind of like all over the place. So,
hey, there's nothing like having a dichotomy where the guy monitoring the show has the worst video and shit than the guest.
But that's hardcore. That shows how dedicated you are, that you will still do the show no matter what it takes. That's
a lesser host would have canceled.
I mean, that's a fighter.
I guess. Whatever. Hey, you know what? When I first started making content, it was all through a cell phone, right? So there you go, right? At that point, it sort of feels nostalgic in a way, It's just not something I do very often these days. But no, June, what do you think, man? Why do you honestly think, realistically, just from your personal perspective, what do you think has changed at this point where Marvel Studios felt like they had to drop that much that panel and the Avengers shit?
It's funny. I haven't really thought about that until you asked the question, but this is what I think it might be. I think originally the MCU, while they were using kind of what people at the time called like lesser known or kind of C-list heroes and kind of bringing them to the forefront, they were still using heroes that were known enough to the people where it wasn't such a stark shock, or people that were going into the movie, they weren't sitting there going, oh man, I have no idea who this person is. or what they do. But that was also at a time when the MCU was on a much smaller scale. It's gotten to a point now where the MCU just generates hype just by the sheer existence of it generates hype. So now they've brought it to the scale where they can't just assume the average person knows about something or the average person is expecting something. There were a lot of people that I remember that went and watched Infinity War, and they were just like, yeah, we have no idea what's going on, because they really weren't caught up on the MCU in general. But now when you have stuff like Secret Wars, Secret Invasion, and lesser known groups like Thunderbolts or what have you, just the fact that they've not presented it, they know millions of people are going to be on the internet searching, what is Secret Invasion? Who are the Thunderbolts? So before those movies even come out, by the time those movies come out, the marketing's already kind of generated this kind of user-forced, almost like a, what do we want to call it? A preliminary lesson or kind of like a general introduction to what it is. So they're not just going into it blind. Everyone's going to kind of have an idea for it. So that might be one point of it. It's excellent marketing from one point of view. So I think maybe that's kind of what they did. But then again, what can we say? It's the MCU. It's Hollywood. What do they do? We don't know.
But here's the thing, though, June. Honestly, it goes against the original formula, the MCU, because they're not building anything up to anything. You know what I mean? Like, they're not using the interconnectivity, right, with this and everything as a premise, right? They're skipping that, right, completely. And they're just flat out giving us the Avengers. They're telling us what is coming out, what it's going to be about, right? And at that point, I get what you're saying about the marketing, I do. But still, though, I think it's unique. I think it's interesting. It makes you wonder, I mean, behind the scenes, right? Kevin Feige, his team, what were they thinking? What was Disney's impact on this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they have to say about it? Do they have a hand in this?
Hell yeah,
are they scared? Because you got to remember, as June said, and I don't know if you know about this, Wiz, when Marvel Studios first started, they borrowed money to actually make their first film. Okay? They took out loans to finance the film. They did not even self-finance them. So at that point, if any one of those movies had not worked at all and made enough money to pay back those loans, I'm not sure what would have happened at that point. They didn't have Disney back then. So at that point, right, of course, like June said, Marvel Studios dominates cinema. They dominate. They dominate the entire movie industry at this point. They are the movie industry. And they're so massive, right, and so big and so good at what they do, nobody even bothers trying to copy them at this point. Nobody even bothers. They don't. Honestly, they don't. At that point, I don't think it has anything to do with oversaturation or a desire of other film companies to make money, right, off kind of stuff, off superhero stuff. I think it's the fact that Marvel Studios has a very unique ability to make these films, to make this work. And for me, I wonder, the way, if you tell me, Drunk Wizard, based off of your vibe, like your feeling towards Marvel Studios, right? People you talk to, your friends and whatnot, about what they think about Marvel, right? What they thought of, like, Thor 4, Doctor Strange 2, WandaVision, the Disney Plus series.
Okay, this is what I gotta say. Yeah, great points, and it's all in my memory.
Oh, no, Wiz, let me finish.
Okay.
What do you hear
Okay,
on the street? Wiz, what do you hear on the street? Like,
okay.
Yeah, what are your friends telling you? I mean, are they pessimistic? Are they not happy with what they're getting?
First, I'll tell you what I think, and then what they said. Okay, that's a great point. So, like what you were saying about how, Marvel had to take out loans in the beginning, and they didn't know if it was going to be successful. I think it would be successful because we grew up on the comic books, right? Spider-Man, X-Men. Like me and my friends, a lot of my friends didn't read all the comics, but they watched the cartoon. They loved the action figures, so they were all into the MCU universe. even though they weren't like had every single comic book, but they had some of them. And when the movies came out, we went crazy. Like for the first X-Men, the first Spider, the first Iron Man. We were all like, and okay,
there are no X-Men films in the MCU. There are none. There is no X-Men in the MCU.
So like X-Men is in Marvel Comics?
It is, but like June said, the MCU was started.
Oh, is that the MCU? Okay. Right.
Yeah, the MCU was started with Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Captain America.
Okay, here we go. The education. All right. So so we were excited about the Marvel movies. So now, though, the way they see it is, there's just a lot of crazy stuff coming out. It got too complicated for them after a while, right? They saw some of them, they missed some of them, the same thing happened with me. And so it became this thing like, you watch everything or you're going to get left behind. And that's how it is. And in the beginning, we were just excited. We're like, oh, watch Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, the first one, right? And we loved it. And then it got so many. And then now it's the multiverse. But I'm totally getting back into it myself just because of Doctor Strange. And I love magic. So I'm there for that. And I, like, as far as them, friends, they're kind of like, it's kind of like that. They're like, I'll go to the theater with you, but they're not as excited as back then. I don't know if it's because we were younger or it's like, oh, it's X-Men. But you know what's going to get people excited? Wolverine in the yellow costume, the new X-Men film. I don't know if that's true. I heard that's a rumor.
Oh, yeah. Right? I will be very excited to see that.
June. Right. Okay, I'll give the mic to June now. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, oh man, Wolverine was like my first favorite superhero as a kid. Like I saw it wasn't even the original 90s X-Men animated show. It was X-Men Evolution, which was kind of like an early 2000s remake. And yeah, dude, I thought Wolverine was like the coolest guy. He was such a badass and, he was kind of rough, but like it was cool. That was kind of cool about him. He wasn't like a traditional hero. So to be able to see him in that costume, oh man, that's just going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah, but June, as well as I do, we're nowhere near getting Wolverine in the MCU. It's not happening. Like it's not happening.
Not anytime soon. Not anytime.
No.
Soon, no.
I honestly, I don't even think they're even trying to cast it yet. I don't.
Oh, Wolverine? Yeah, they're not going to find anyone soon to replace Hugh Jackman.
Oh, they'll find somebody eventually. They'll find somebody. Will he be as good as Hugh Jackman? I have no idea. I'm just saying. I mean, hey, Sarah Finn is a hell of a caster. She knows how to cast a film. She does. She's very good at what she does. She may be literally the most underrated aspect or like person at Marvel, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of what she's done with the film and the casting and is still making. Just to be clear, folks. When Drunk Wizard goes all audio, that just means that he's taking a crack break real quick. Just a 5 o'clock crack break,
Yeah, taking a break.
He doesn't want to. Yeah, there you go. He doesn't want to taint the children or anything like that, whatnot. He's a very ethical man. So, at that point, but no, June, you tell me. Obviously, you're very aware, right, of the very well-known sense of letdown with some people in terms of the direction of the MCU recently. And again, you know and I know, right, logically, common sense wise, that there was no way in any way, shape, or form that there was not going to be a letdown after Endgame. There was no way. It was not possible. You cannot go after Endgame and be able to pull something off of that level. Right after. It's not going to happen. And you also know that that's not how Marvel Studios works. They had to reset. They had to start from scratch, right? So you tell me, do you think that possibly at all this pessimism, this confusion at times that the fans are having, and this unhappiness, some of the series, some of the films, do you think that may be impacted their decision to throw so much out in Comic-Con the way that they did and give the fans that much?
I think that's possible. There was a brief period of time right after Endgame where even I was kind of going through that malaise of, oh man, what's next? What's gonna happen? Or where would they even go with this? And I almost felt that kind of burnout. But yeah, ever since seeing this stuff, at least personally, I can tell you, it's not that I didn't think that they were going to go in a good direction before, but now this just kind of solidifies it. Like, no, there's still a plan. There's still an outline of what they want to do. So I think that might have had something to do with it. It's very possible.
Now, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question, though. Was it burnout, or was it a sense of this is the best it's ever going to be?
I think it might have been the latter. Yeah, because it was kind of looking at Endgame and going, what can possibly even top this anymore? So it was more kind of a, expect disappointment and you won't be disappointed. So it might have been a result of that. It was almost like I was scared to hope that there could be something bigger out of the fear that there wouldn't be, and then be disappointed that there wasn't.
And that's because you're a fan. That's why. You're a fan. You care about it, right? You're passionate about it. And so at that point, Endgame meant so much to you that, I guess, did it bother you that it wasn't possible for them to be able to even touch anything like that again?
No, I'd say I was hopeful. It was kind of like, the fact that Endgame happened, there was still a sense of like, if they could pull this off. I remember after seeing the first Iron Man and they teased the first Avengers movie, and I thought to myself, oh, no way. No way. That's just going to be one of those things that's there. And like years down the line, we're going to think, oh, what if they actually had done an Avengers movie? But then when the first Avengers movie happened, it was kind of like, oh, whoa, that happened, And then after that, like Infinity War happened, it was kind of like, whoa, that happened. So, at least I think there's enough good creative minds and money and resources backing the MCU that we're always going to get something good. But yeah, overall though, Endgame definitely was a closing of a strong chapter, and it definitely took some time to process the closing of that chapter.
Wiz, I know you didn't watch all of the Infinity Saga films and all the MCU films, right? But you did see Endgame, right, in the theater, right?
No, I didn't. But
You
this
did.
is the thing.
You did.
I'm saying people are being pessimistic about the Comic-Con and the stuff coming out there. They're not, because me and my friends are super excited about Blade. We're super excited about seeing Wolverine in the yellow costume. I'm telling you, everything that I see on websites, they're not really talking about Avengers, but people are talking about Blade. They're talking about the yellow costume. That's the hype, and like that's it still has Marvel Comics, Disney in their mouth. So the word on the street doesn't matter, because if we see Blade slicing people's heads off and blowing away with shotguns and all that good stuff, and we see Wolverine in the yellow costume, it's all good. And the thing I gotta say, about the new trailers though, I did see the Kang Dynasty and the other one, and I don't know, I didn't feel as excited as I did about the other movies. They were really weird. They were cool. It was like, oh, magical powers. They don't teach you this in school. It's kind of cool, but yeah, at the same time, I do like the magical power stuff. I don't know. It just seemed weird. It seemed different, but I think I'm just so behind in the series that I don't know what's going on. So I'm in above my head. But either way, like I said, I like Wolverine.
Just keep drinking. As long as you keep drinking, it'll be okay.
I think that's what it is. I just listen to what you guys say, but I'm learning from the people that are knowledgeable. Like, because I have a great memory. Something you guys are saying is just going in my mind. I'm remembering everything. So,
well, if I were you, Wiz, I'd be careful with that. If you're really going to pay attention that much and believe everything I say, I'm just going to start messing with you, and saying all kinds of crazy, stupid shit. just so I can set you up. So when you come on the show as a guest again, you'll be talking all kinds of gibberish and shit. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Wiz.
Yeah. Hello. You're breaking up. I'm part of it.
Wiz, if you can hear me. Wiz, if you can hear me. Did you at all, in any way, shape, or form? Wiz, when you watch Endgame, okay? Are you saying that you never thought for a minute at all about how is Marvel ever going to be able to top this? Like, how are they ever going to be able to get back to this again?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't like the new trailers for the Avengers. That's what I was just saying. That, yeah, it's never going to be that good again. As far as Avengers, you know, but I'm excited about the other stuff. Like I said, Blade and Wolverine. I think X-Men will be great, and so will Blade. But yeah, as far as Avengers goes, I don't think it'll be as great as Iron Man 1 ever. I mean, like, you know. And, yeah, it's not going to be as great as Endgame either. So, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I mean, I thought the trailers, they look cool, the new Avengers trailers, but it wasn't as exciting as the other trailers and the previews. So, I mean, I'll leave it.
Well, honestly, Wiz, you must be mad. You have to be a very magical guy because there are no new Avengers trailers. So at that point, I guess you must have been very drunk that day that you saw them.
Avenger, the Kang Dynasty, the Secret Wars. I just watched those right now. They're on YouTube.
They're fan trailers. They're not real. No, they're not real. They're not official Marvel Studios trailers.
Oh, so someone just made those? Damn, those
look
really good.
Yeah, they're fan trailers.
They are really good. Yeah.
On YouTube.
Oh yeah, June, they are good.
That shit.
June,
they are really good. Yeah.
They screwed me up, man. I've done shows before and took those trailers in the show.
Who the fuck made those trailers? Well, that's why they sucked. If they weren't
I'm telling you, dude.
I
came out thinking I was like breaking some shit or whatever and whatnot. Like, here you go, folks, the new fucking trailer or whatever, and it wasn't even a real trailer. That's how good they are.
I'm gonna be. Well, I didn't like them though. I was like, I hope this is not the real trailer. I was like, it looks good, but this is garbage. Like I thought.
It's fun.
Like, this is the movies. Like they look good though. The graphics were good.
It's for the fans. It's for the fans, Wiz. It's for the fans.
Yeah. They're not official. Damn.
No, Wiz. They're not official. You typically cannot have a trailer for a movie.
Trolled. Okay, I admit it. I got trolled.
Yeah. Yeah, you got trolled, brother. Unless, like, all of a sudden they're now actually making trailers before they even produce the movie. I don't know how that works, but
shit,
it's all good, man. Don't even worry about it. But you tell me though, June.
Right, I'm drunk, you know.
Question. That's okay, June. Last question on this whole concept of why and how with this stuff, with like the Avengers and whatnot, with Comic-Con. Do you think it's possible that? Well, you tell me, right? What is the vibe you've been getting from your friends and people, coworkers, and other fans you talk to? What have you been hearing about before San Diego Comic-Con? What have you been hearing from people as far as their thoughts on where things were going with Phase 4?
I think it's been generally universal. A lot of my friends were just kind of confused, especially because now we're getting into the territory of storylines and characters that have never really been explored much, as far as a lot of the popular heroes have. So it was general confusion. They kept bringing up how multiverse, but so before these teasers for the titles drop, they were just kind of like, well, where could they even go? It wasn't good or bad. It was just kind of a general, like, we want to know where it's headed, but it was hard to grasp where it might be going. Unlike, with the Infinity Saga, where every post-credit scene was essentially leading to something. Every movie was clearly building up to something, especially after the first Avengers, because we knew kind of, Thanos is out there. Now we know the big bad. But, the Infinity Saga is a very well-known saga in comic book lore in general. So it wasn't that hard to kind of build up to it. But whereas afterwards, especially because not a lot of people are familiar with Kang or a lot of the other concepts that were introduced. Yeah, in my kind of environment, it was just a lot of general confusion. Excitement, sure, but just general kind of confusion.
So, would you say that? Did you personally feel like there was a lack of that interconnectivity in Phase 4, right? That we got in like the Infinity Saga?
I think it had a lot to do with just the sheer amount of content that we were getting in Phase 4, because up until with the Infinity Saga, the kind of peripheral shows weren't that big of a deal. If you didn't watch Daredevil, if you didn't watch Luke Cage while watching, any of the movies, you really weren't missing out on much. Now, I remember I had not seen WandaVision before Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So when my friend Sultan and I came out of the theater, I was just like, well, dude, that was kind of like a cool movie, but what the hell? What happened to Wanda? Why is she like this? And he was like, oh yeah, dude, you have to watch WandaVision to know what's been going on with her. So I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'll watch it. So, up until that point, it was very different because I never had to watch these things before, but now I kind of had to. So, yeah.
Okay. And
Wizard.
Go ahead, Wizard. Go ahead.
I have a question for both of you. So that's a great point that June brought out, and you guys are way more knowledgeable than me. But the question is, what would help you more with all these movies and TV shows? Actually reading all the comics or watching the shows, to keep up with what's going on? Or is it totally different now with the shows compared to the comic books? I mean, it's a question that I'm wondering because I'm trying to learn. So I don't know.
I'll take first, and then I'll go to Jude after that. Essentially, Wiz, when it boils down to it, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is built and designed in a way. They make these films in a way where you don't need the comics to understand them. You don't. That they purposely do that, right? You have to understand, right? With Endgame, right? My former girlfriend, from my last relationship, right? She had never seen a Marvel movie in her life before Endgame. Okay, she told me she'd seen half of Thor 2, but that was it. Well, I took her to see Endgame in theater for her first Marvel movie, okay? And honestly, not knowing anything about what was going on at all, really, she told me flat out during the film, she knew what was going on the whole time. She understood the story. She understood what was happening, right? And honestly, she got what was going on enough. She understood who the characters were enough that when Black Widow died, she cried her eyes out. When Tony died, she lost it. Okay, so at that point, they make these films in a way where anybody can go watch them, right, and still be able to have some clue what the hell's going on, right? They're not overt about it, but they do it, and they don't dumb shit down. They just try to make it work in a way where the stories still work, even if you don't have all the knowledge or have watched all the films. So at that point, I guess it helps to read the comic books to some extent if you want to understand the intrinsic parts of characters, right? If you want to know their personalities, their backstories, those kind of things, their relationships. But in terms of the MCU itself, Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Infinity Saga, you don't have to read a single comic book to watch that shit, enjoy it, and know what's going on. I'll go to you, June.
Not much more to add to that. At least with the Infinity Saga, you can blast through the movie one after the next, and you'll pretty much keep up with everything. Just not so much the case now, where you have to watch the shows. So, if we're talking up to Infinity Saga, watch the movies, no problem. You don't have to look into anything extra. Unless you want to. I think Daredevil is one of the greatest superhero shows ever made. If not the best superhero show ever made. So I'd highly recommend it. But you don't have to watch it. Whereas now with Phase 2, you still don't have to read the comics, but now you do have to kind of pay attention to the peripheral shows, animated stuff like the What If show. So now you kind of have to be a lot more vigilant about that.
Let me use my phone. Gotcha.
Cool.
I'll be right
Awesome.
back. Yeah, so basically, honestly, and this is something that I talked to June before, and I talked to you about this too, Wiz. I feel like, at least for us in the Bleeding Edge, right? The way we look at it is, I find it interesting to have like a mix like this, right? Where you've got people that are different levels in the fandom, okay? You've got June, that's a knowledgeable MCU fan. He's watched films, right? He's read comics. You know, he has.
Here. I'm the worst one.
It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, right, when it comes to doing these shows, at least for me, what I find interesting is the contrast, the comparison, the differences of the opinions you get, right? For people that are of different ages, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, hey, when you do a show and you're talking about the Avengers film, the first Avengers, right? First Avengers film means different things, right? To different generations, okay? If you saw the first Avengers film at 12 or 10 versus somebody like me that saw it at 28, right? Or if you were 50 when you watched it.
Yeah.
You're all going to have a different opinion on it, a different view on it, right? And I love that. I think it's fun. It's interesting. At that point, there's nothing wrong with not being a big super comic book fan. You don't have to have watched all the films. It doesn't make you a lesser fan. If you love Marvel, if you love the movies, right, you just don't watch all of them, that doesn't mean that you're any lesser than me or June.
I always loved it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man.
And I love stuff, and I always ask questions when I watch the that new Spider-Man one. I still can't remember the name, but when my little nephew told me, you know that guy, he's gonna be the new Hobgoblin. And I love the Hobgoblin because I read the comics, and I was totally into Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. Says that guy later is gonna be the Hobgoblin, right? The one guy that like really connected with Doctor Strange, the kid that like he told him you got abilities, you got power, you can open portals. He could open the portals, right? All that really gave me. I'm like, this was going on. I talked to my younger nephew that's into all this, and we're different levels. Like he's watched every Iron Man and all the Avengers and all the Spider-Man. So, like when he told me about Hobgoblin, though, I'm like, Hobgoblin, that's like my teenage years. Comic books where Spider-Man fought him, and we might see him later after all this time. So it's like all the whether it's generational or different levels of knowledge, like all connect, and it's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Shout out to Cybernetic Shark, my co-host, for deciding to pop in. What's up, Cyber? June, let me tell you, man. Let me ask you a question, man. What do you think? What does it mean to you? Okay. In terms of, and I wish I could actually play this right now. But I don't know if I can. I'm limited to some extent because I'm using the phone, but oh no, I can play it. Wiz, I think you're really gonna get a lot from this. I really do. June, I don't know if you've seen this before, but I'm gonna play something for you guys. It's gonna set up what we're gonna.
I love being with people. It's the most incredible thing in the world.
What are you doing? Oh, this is nice.
That world may change and evolve, but the one thing that will never change, we're all part of one big family. We are Groot. That man next to you, he's your brother. That woman over there, she's your sister.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
That's right.
We're all part of one universe.
Wakanda forever!
That moves ever upward and onward to greater glory.
saved a lot of lives. But I'm done running from my past. We have unfinished business.
Who's we?
When you love something, you fight for it. We're the ones who changed everything.
Wizard.
Oh yeah, we back. I mean, we're here.
Oh, there he is. I never know a wizard, man. When he goes black, he might be passed out drunk at that point. You never know. Either
That
way,
happened last night.
Wiz, are you too drunk to where you could not even see that, or did you actually be able to watch that?
I was able to watch it, most of the ending of it, but I had it for a couple minutes. But I went back and watched it. Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I saw Black Widow in there. Let's put it like that. So Black Widow was in there, and some other stuff. But I did get to watch some of it. So I think June should take the mic on this one because I didn't see the whole thing.
Okay, I'll go to June. June, you saw it before, right?
Yes.
What did it mean for you first time you heard that or saw that when you heard Stan Lee open up the promo?
So seeing that was actually what got me out of that malaise of confusion that I had mentioned to you before, where I was kind of like, that whole period where I was like, what's happening? Where are we going? Is this still something that's going to work? But when I saw that for the first time, I remember just like kind of being overwhelmed by this feeling of like, look at what we've seen happen. Look at what we've seen, from the very first Iron Man, which is a very kind of, if you really think about it, very, I don't want to say simple in like a bad way, but a very kind of stripped down, ground level kind of superhero movie, to see something like, the climax of Endgame, that whole clip and just having Stan Lee talk over it really hit home as to how much of a behemoth the MCU has become. And, not just a behemoth in size, but a well-functioning one that just keeps kind of performing and keeps kind of putting out content. And yeah, I think it was just a really good encapsulation. If you ever want to give someone a crash course and this is what the MCU is and this is what it kind of represents, just show them this and that'll drive that point home fairly quickly.
What about the actual Stan Lee part? What did that mean for you?
I think him talking about how we're all kind of part of one universe was really, really relevant because, part of that clip talks about how we go to the movies to escape. And I think that's really beautiful because that's something that everyone can relate to. No matter what kind of background you come from, you go to the movies, you're just part of something bigger. You're kind of part of this kind of almost collective mindset, especially now with the MCU because it's so connected. So I think that's a really, really important, relevant, and beautiful thing, especially coming out of the mouth of the man who really kind of, created it all, with contribution from Jack Kirby, of course. But yeah, I think it's just really cool that it was Stan saying that.
What did it do for you emotionally?
Oh, I mean, the first time I saw it, I was definitely holding back tears. It definitely kind of made, I felt the ball in my throat even just watching it now because it's not something, that I kind of watch regularly, but just, yeah, man, it's really cool. It's a really kind of deep and emotional thing.
And Wiz, Were you able to
what's
hear?
up?
Were you able to hear that intro of that promo?
I couldn't hear the audio for some reason. I could just see the video. So
Oh,
I don't know why
okay.
it doesn't come.
That's
through.
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Wiz, what did you think of the promo? What you did see, the video itself? Did you like it? Was it exciting for you?
It was pretty cool. I liked the promo for Black Widow. I've never seen any Black Widow films, but that looks interesting. I know I've heard people talk about the actress, how she's supposed to be really good looking, and like, yeah, I'd like to see her kill people. But as a Black Widow, right, she probably murders people, you know. I don't know. I know nothing about that character, but I've heard people talk about the movie on other podcasts, and so like it looked interesting to me. That's mostly what I caught, and a couple other things, but yeah, let's see. Let's go. I'm interested in that. I never knew about Black Widow at all, so I've never seen the comic books about her or anything. So let's see what happens. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Especially now that Disney's involved, you're not gonna see Black Widow killing anybody or Blade cut off heads or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no?
Like, I just don't want to let you down, man. It's not gonna happen.
Man, I thought with a name like that, she was venomous and just taking people out. But oh man, all right. So
Nah, man.
I know.
Nah, bro. If you go through the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, the entire Infinity Saga, I don't think honestly Black Widow ever killed anybody.
Wow.
Right, June?
Yeah, I thought with the name.
Wait, who's the character we're talking about? I couldn't hear the name.
Black Widow.
Oh, I don't think she's killed anybody. No.
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 No, you tell me. No, you tell me, June.
Like Batgirl, right? She despises. Okay, that's cool.
Blade's not gonna be killing people either.
Oh man, I hope that's not the case. That would be a real injustice to Blade as a character.
Yeah, I think the Batgirl movie got canceled though, or the TV show, or something got canceled with Batgirl recently. But anyways, that's not Marvel, so I'm not really talking about that. I just brought that up to try to compare it to Black Widow and Batgirl. But anyways, oh man, this has really been an awesome show. I've had a lot of fun, and they got pretty faded as well. I think it went pretty good for me showing up late and the technical difficulties. We fixed it. I love it. It just turned out good.
I don't know who that crackhead person was.
I think it came out pretty nice.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you bet.
So, that's what I was asking you, June. You see Blade killing people in the Blade film?
I mean, I think it's 50-50 right now. I would love to see him kill people. I would love to see the movie be very visceral and very violent because that's the kind of movie that Blade
Wait a minute. He could probably kill vampires, right? They'd let that happen.
They'd probably have him like puff into ash if he did that. That's going to be the easy way out for it.
Most
But then
definitely.
again, I don't know. They said Deadpool when he comes into the MCU is still going to be rated R, so maybe.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know how it's going to work. There's a lot of theories, obviously. Of course, Disney Plus style has that new section or whatever and whatnot, the adult only section. This usually indicates that Wiz is either taking a piss or he's actually passed out drunk. But he might wake up though and come back on. You never know. He's a great guest, man. He's very interesting. You never know what you're gonna get from him. He's actually though, honestly, he's really cool because He thinks he's crazy and everything and whatnot, and wants to be all crazy and everything and whatnot. But in reality, he's like the nicest guy ever. He's not crazy at all. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Wiz, I'm not even sure what the fuck you're doing right now, man.
Bro, it just like totally kicked me out of the whole thing. It just went to this crazy. It was like a blank screen. It just went out of nowhere. It just said, and it told me like get back in the studio. So that's all it did. I don't know what happened.
That's okay, Wiz. I'll be honest with you, man. You're an interesting guy, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you do. You're a good guest.
Thank you. I didn't do that on purpose. That was, I don't know, the multiverse. It just said get out of there, but come back in. So, yeah, sorry about that. I have no idea what the hell that was.
Wiz, you could literally just sit there in a still shot as yourself as Drunk Wizard and not even talk, and you'd be good.
It'd be good if I'm just here drinking beer.
Yeah. That's how good you are, man.
Oh,
you don't have to talk.
Yeah, I'd just be here like chilling. I'm just like a guest, relaxing on the camera.
I'd love to meet the person that like idolizes Drunk Wizard. I'd love him. I'd love to meet.
You want to meet a person?
I want to meet the person that idolizes Drunk Wizard. I do.
I think our friend Shark from the comments idolizes Drunk Wizard. He was a big fan of Drunk Wizard.
Oh no! Let's get this twisted. Look at this twisted, June. Drunk Wizard loves Cyber.
Oh, yeah? Cybernetic Shark is awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't even have started it. Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying, I think he's cool. I've seen him on the podcast Odyssey. I saw him on this show. I think he's awesome. I wish he would have been here tonight. I thought he was going to be here with us, but you know,
he's toning it down now, dude. He's toning it down. He's got a total man crush.
I don't know about that. I'm a fan of certain people. You know, I like Dr. Disrespect. I think Dr. Disrespect is awesome. I want to be like him when I grow up. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, this is people I look up to. The Rock, you know, like these people you look up to. You just like, it's kind of like that. But it's not like that not like that. It's just like fans, you know. Wolverine, he's awesome. Stuff like that. So, yeah.
Most definitely.
Anyways.
June, were you aware of Chloe Zhao's recent directing project? There you go.
No, I was not.
You hadn't seen that yet?
I actually don't know who this person is.
The woman that directed the Eternals.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That was her directing performance after the Eternals. That rescue. Obviously, you saw how effective she was. Drunk Wizard. Why you? Oh, okay, you're frozen over there. You are a very interesting guy, Wizard. I gotta tell you. Are you even there? Wizard is oblivious.
Sorry, I'm back.
Jeff, just a heads up to you. In a couple of minutes, I will have to log off. It's getting rather late on my end, and so in a couple of minutes, I will be wrapping up with you if that's cool. I will watch the rest of the stream tomorrow, like once it's up. Are we all frozen?
I just got kicked off. I don't know what's going on. I got kicked off
I'm
twice,
not sure if Jeff even heard me.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody hears me. I got kicked off twice.
No, you're fine now. We're back to where we were in the beginning.
Yeah, me and you, and then he's like, except that I got kicked off twice. It's like, I don't know what's going on. It must be my connection or the program.
I don't want to log off while he's not here. I don't want to think I just jumped ship in the middle of the show.
Yeah, wait till he comes back. And then, yeah. This was a great show, though. I think we did good, especially for
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was fun, man. I think it's more interesting when you get a guy that doesn't really know what he's talking about, like me, and I look crazy.
I think it's a good mix. It's cool.
It's funny, yeah. It's like I remember the first Iron Man, the first Spider-Man, and the first X-Men, and a few others against. But I only saw a few in between all that.
Do you know that really random Fantastic Four movie that was made in like the 80s?
Yeah. It's like, but I had all the comic books, I had all the cards, I had the action figures, and I watched the cartoon. So technically, I know I should be a bigger fan than most people. But back then, I just didn't keep up with the movies. I was like, yeah, I had the Wolverine action figure, I had the cards, I had the comics. I watched.
Oh, dude, when that first X-Men came out, I had for my birthday, my dad got me because the end fight in the first X-Men movie with Hugh Jackman, it's at the Statue of Liberty. So they came out with a toy where it was the head of the Statue of Liberty, and it was like the size of like a human head, and you could open it, and it had a little miniature kind of set in there, and it came with like the Wolverine action figure, and it was really cool. You could recreate the scene from the movie. Like that's what I would do. Yeah.
That's super awesome. So it transformed to Wolverine.
No, it was the head, and then it came with a Wolverine action figure, and you could recreate the end battle of the movie because you could get all the heroes and then just like set them up and like recreate the scene. It was really cool.
That is so awesome, man. Wow.
I was just really mad at my dad because I didn't want that. I wanted Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so I didn't get that. But that was right when Yu-Gi-Oh was taking off.
Though. Yeah, I remember my dad would do the same thing to me. I'd want something and he'd get something else. I was like, well, this is pretty cool. Yeah, let's keep it. I'm like,
I wish I still had them. Now I don't have the head or the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I wish I had held on to both of them.
I feel the same, bro. I had all kinds of action figures like X-Men, Batman, Power Rangers, and I would just do dumb things with them, like break them or throw them away or whatever when I was younger. And now all that stuff is like nostalgia and like worth tons of money and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I wish I had all that stuff from back when I was a kid and a teenager. Yeah.
That or I wish I took better care of my stuff.
Yeah. I wish I would have like kept them in the packages, like had a couple copies of them. Like I had the original Wolverine, like the original before the cartoon, when it was kind of like mustard yellow with black suit. Before it was like yellow with blue. It was like the OG Wolverine. I had that one. I'm like thinking, damn, if I had that in the package now, wow, that would be like so much money because you can't really find that anymore. I mean, back then you always thought, oh, there'll always be a Target. I could just get this like 10 years later when I got more money, I'll buy more of them. Nope, you should have picked it up back then. I do think they re-released the retro Ninja Turtle toys again at Target. Like they reissued it, but yeah. But I went and there was nothing there, so I gotta think they were all bought up,
Probably,
and it's it's like crazy. I wish they would reissue the original X-Men Wolverine, but I know you gotta be there like the first day, probably waiting outside or something, just like with a lot of these game consoles and just get them. But yeah, it's crazy because people buy them up and they resell them on Amazon for like tons of money. That's what they do now. So like you go there, you're like, oh, that's gonna be the original 80s Ninja Turtles toys or the original X-Men, and they're like, nope. Like, yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, hopefully. I don't know what happened to Jeff. Jeff's probably over there.
I don't know. I might actually have to leave.
All right, June. Yeah. Well, hey, no matter what happens, it was nice meeting you. Great show. This was a lot of fun.
It was a pleasure, yeah. Yeah, man. Thanks. All right, Drunkers, you have a good night then, man.
All right, June.
If you're still on when Jeff comes back, can you just tell him the sequence of events that happened that led me to not being here?
Yeah, I will let him know. He'll know.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. You have a good night now.
All right, June. Have a good night. Good talking to you. All right, good night. Yeah, so we're still live here. I don't know if we're live, but we're like in the studio. Jeff, are you coming back, bro? I don't know if he's coming back. Is he coming back? Is he coming back? I hope he comes back. But either way, guys, I don't know if this is being recorded or it's on video, so I'm just going to take my camera off. I'm going to take a break. I think we're supposed to do some other reaction videos, so stay tuned for those. And we will be talking to you guys real soon. We had a fun show. A lot of great laughs, a lot of great moments. With Jeff, True Knowledge, aka True Knowledge, and June and me, Drunk Wizard. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in. You guys are awesome. I'm happy to be a guest tonight. My first time being a guest on the show. And June was awesome. So we had a fun time. I don't know if this is coming back or if we're just like off the air, but I'm going to kill my camera just in case. I don't know what's going on. I need to take a break and use the bathroom, but we'll be back. Did that just kill my camera or did it kill... Oh, that did something weird. It didn't do the camera. Oh, that just went to something weird. Whoa, how do you kill the camera on here? Isn't it, it's... Where's the camera? That's the camera, right? I think it killed my camera. I don't know what it did. Maybe it killed everything. I'll be back. I'll be back, y'all. So guys, I don't know. I don't know if we're still live. I think that's it for the show. Where's my phone? Do I have my phone? I don't know. My phone's... Am I still charging? Oh, it's down here. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like if this, it went to like 0.
Sorry, folks. No Wi-Fi. Hard to do a live stream show with no Wi-Fi. Hopefully that show. I'm not sure if I have to suck somebody's dick at Comcast or something to make this shit work. I'll have to do what I have to do for the team. I will. I'll suck 2 dicks. So we'll see what happens. Peace out.